Hi, my name is Carl Stanley, and thanks for coming along to this session. So now we're going to go through a little bit of theory. I know I said it was a procedural course, but we're going to go through just a little bit so that we know what we're looking at. First, we're going to do a little bit of this section is on a transformation. Okay, so we need to transform our data. So what does that mean? We'll go through meta models. So why do we model stuff? So I illustrate it this way. Imagine you are a car manufacturer, and the car manufacturer has to see how the car will perform under certain conditions. Do they build a whole car and then go and throw it out in the wind? No. They model the car to scale and then they put it in the wind to see what the impact analysis is. That's what we're doing. So we get data from everywhere. Business architecture, application architecture, technology architecture. Business analysts come to you. Business representatives come to you. People from operations, first, second, third level support, they all come to us. We need to go to a structured way of viewing things. So we model it to see the impact analysis. Now, straight out of the box with iServer comes the Archimate meta model. So let me show you that. I'll show you a few little posters there, and then we're going to go through the format or the server import as we get closer to our goal of doing some analysis and importing things into iServer. Practical hands-on knowledge. Okay, so let me just grab you hey presto. Archimate 3.0 notation. Now this is a list of all of the things you can tag through the notation. Notice how they're in layers: strategy, business, application, technology, physical, implementation, motivation, and relationships. All there, ready to go for you to model. Now we want to get to the juice and we want to connect all these dots, right? So if I was to take some concerns from a business stakeholder, what business services touch what applications, the application functions, application components, you see how they're active, behavioral, passive. We're not going to go into the spec. Great stuff, very well done. And then what technology is it touching? So a stakeholder has a certain sort of overview of what they want to understand will be the impacts. That is where a lot of your key juices or your key insights are. So if I was to wrap my finger around three or four of these components, what's that called? A viewpoint. So for the perspective that you're looking from. So if you've done TOGAF and you've done all that sort of stuff, you'll see that stakeholders have a set of concerns and they frame their viewpoint. And then this is what they see. So we're just tagging those things conceptually, logically, physically into a model so that we can do our impact analysis. Straight out of the box with Archimate. All the different viewpoints. Don't go and create your own meta model. Just stick to the viewpoints, stick to the relationships. You see things like application usage. Between an application service, it serves a business process. Makes logical sense. Does an application component serve a business process? By means of the service, yes. Can it be assigned to a business process? According to the meta model, yes. If we look at these, each of those comes with iServer. And all you have to do is put your data in there. So now we understand the components, what to tag with, the types of things, then the viewpoints and the relationships. So this is another little diagram I'll give you. Right, don't worry too much. 2.1, 3.0 just added a few more components here at the strategy layer, which weren't there in 2.1. Business capabilities, capability-based planning, capability modeling. The Open Group has a whole new course on business architecture. Cool stuff. So, not here to talk about that, but here is your little introduction, or here's your theory. Now, let me show you the import. Hey presto, too easy. Here's one I baked earlier. So in iServer, Let me take a step back. In our cleanup, we picked out columns of things, right, that were technology components or application components or business actors, or this is where you tag them, you stick them into a column all by themselves, and you run the iServer wizard. Look, it's so easy. And this is the point of buying some of these tools, is the usability and import, and it's pretty seamless. The free tools are a little bit more difficult. You've got to do a little bit more trickery to get it to happen, but this stuff, straight through. So you'll see two tabs, objects and relationships, okay? Remember we talked about relationships? Service, process, application component, process. See what I mean? Business service, accesses a contract, right? Source type, source object, relationship, target type, target object. Okay, this is where you do your little bit of your work. So you pick your viewpoint out and you model these things in your spreadsheet. Now, if you're doing this stuff, why stick it in iServer? Because iServer is all visual, and 60% of your learners are visual, right? And then you can build your own custom diagrams and check them in and out. Many people can collaborate on them, but it all starts with a clean data set. So I've just shown you a clean data set. And in the next part, just let me make sure we're covering this off. In the next part, I'm gonna show you the import procedure. So there's some documentation that helps with this. That'll come with the course. So you're getting plenty of value out of this, well worth the price of admission. Humbly, well worth the price of admission. So let's give that a stop right now, and then we'll go out into the next section to import. Thanks for coming along.